heck of a hike. What the heck? Alright. Smitty! Damn it, man. Toting the mill works better. Let me send him something back. Headed your way, Smitty. Hey y'all, so did a little swap and trade with Smitty up in Canada, and after reviewing the stuff that we got, we turns out had kind of a similar idea. I had sent him some MREs in exchange for some of the Canadian IMPs, and turns out we both tended to swap each other a chili menu. So we decided we was going to do a little review, taking a look at the two items from both the Canadian and the US point of view. And this is going to be my version of the video. Smitty's, if you haven't seen his channel, I'll drop a link to it down in the comments. He's going to have his version up on his channel. So good chance to kind of see the two side by side from both points of view. So let's take a look at what's in our packages, and we'll be right back with you. Alright, so let's take a little look-see at what we got here today. Now, one of the first things, the Canadians have started putting a different utensil in. This is our MRE spoon. As you can see, it's nice, it's brown, ready to rock and roll. Canadians have jumped on the bandwagon, but theirs is a spork. See the difference? Oh. Here we go. Now, both items come with an entree. Canadian is in a box. US is in the pouch with the sleeve. But both of them pretty much water beef, peppers, beans. It's interesting though, chili with beans has pinto beans, chili has red beans. So a little bit of a difference, but that's going to make things kind of interesting. See what they look like apart. Both of them come with a snack bread. Now, I'm a southern boy. The only bread I eat with chili, cornbread. And this is one of the MREs that had the cornbread side in with the chili, and that is one of the best pairings Natick has done. It's one time that they have actually hit one out of the park. Of course, IMP, plain hamburger. Now, what's interesting though is the IMP came with a crunchy barbecue mix. The MRE came with cheese-filled crackers, pepperoni pizza flavored, or as we call them in the US, combos. I'm sure they can't use actual names, but both of them come with a beverage bag. Now, US version is the hot beverage bag. The Canadian version, if I can turn it the right way, is just a beverage bag. It can be used hot, cold, and it has the fun gusseted bottom, which makes it so awesome. Now, here's where things kind of differ. Both come with a beverage base. The MRE comes with a beverage base powder lemon lime. IMP comes with 2 fruit punch. Now, that's where everything ends simultaneously, because the MRE also comes with crackers and a cheese spread, and of course the accessory pack. On the other hand, the Canadian comes with the dessert, sliced apples, a coffee crisp bar, which these things are awesome. Think big Kit Kat coffee flavored. These things are excellent. Excuse me. And peanut butter. Now, like I said, US accessory kit. Canadians, not an accessory kit, but accessories. And we're going to take a quick look at those side by side. Because in Canada, you get your napkin, you get your coffee, in this case a 3-in-1. You have your napkin. Don't confuse these with mints. That's one of the worst mistakes you can make if you try to swallow that. The mints are actually Tic Tacs. You do get some Frank's Red Hot, and you get matches. Now, when you look at the US accessory pack, and this is pack A, you have matches, cinnamon gum, wet wipe, which once you wet this, essentially a big version of that. Alright, work with me here. Sorry. Trying to get these out separately. And you have coffee, cream, and sugar. It's not a 3-in-1. And luckily, it is an instant type 3 and not that other crap I've been finding in there lately. You have your ration butt wipe, brown napkin. And one thing the Canadians don't send in theirs, salt. Because there's also something else the Canadians don't have in theirs that the US has that comes in handy with the salt. Flameless ration heater. It's one thing about Canada, they have no way to heat up their meals in their packaging. So what we're going to do now is we're not going to do our standard get this out on a tray type of thing. We're not using a tray today. We're going to give good old-fashioned side-by-side testimonials, and to do that we're going to be using good old-fashioned disposable plates and disposable cups, so everything will match up perfectly and everything will be set. And give me just a moment and we're going to get all this out and take a look at it and see what we got going. And as you can see, one other thing we decided to do was forego the whole unpackaging and putting out on a tray, quote unquote, and having everything ready to go. So first thing, the coffees, you can notice that the US is a little bit darker, and when I put all 3 items in the cup, it did not have near as much powder as the 3-in-1 did, so apparently they're putting extra sugar and creamer in the Canadian version. I personally don't mind the 3-in-1 coffee. Sometimes it can be handy. My favorite instant coffee is a Capico Brown, as I've mentioned several times. But sometimes, especially on a cold morning, just that straight shot of hot black coffee can be a good thing. So from what I understand, they're actually removing most of the plain instant coffees, and I think they're leaving a couple of espressos, and that's it. Yeah, sometimes you need just a straight shot of coffee, so that may not be a best solution, but it's what they're doing. So now, the other thing that I noticed right off the bat is the drinks. The US have one single drink packet that made 12 full ounces, The Canadian had 2 drink packets that made 250 milliliters each, or the equivalent of a 500 milliliter bottle of water, which is what we have here, 2 packets and the water. Some of the U.S. rations with the type B accessory kit have started coming with a lemonade that does make a 16 ounce that's made to go into a water bottle. Just a plain 16.9 ounce bottle of water, or a 20 ounce bottle of water. So that is one thing that they are slowly adapting. Now, one thing you will notice is this has the neon green and not the neon yellow color, which means this is a drink. It is not an electrolyte beverage such as the Gatorade. It is just basically, to use another brand name, a Kool-Aid. It's just a sweetened beverage base. Now, the fruit punch, it was also just a sweetened beverage base. I've already trashed the packets, so I can't verify that. Sorry. Now, the next thing I noticed, the chili looks completely different on both sides. The American chili is very bean heavy, and with the brown sauce that is associated with a good old-fashioned Southwestern or Tex-Mex style chili, the Canadian has more of a meaty texture with just a few beans. It's reminiscent more of a I guess the best way to put it is what we would call a Cincinnati style chili. This is the kind of chili I love to go on my hot dogs. I love a good meaty chili like this. You leave out the beans, just the meaty chili. Go on hot dogs with some onions and some mustard. That's awesome. This is the kind of chili I want in a bowl with a thing of cornbread and some cheese on top on a cold, icy day. This is the warm your bones chili. So, definitely 2 different styles of chili. Both of them look good. We're going to try both of them to see what we can come up with. Now, one thing you will notice, I did leave the cornbread separate, but it is in with the chili. It will get chopped up and mixed in with the chili because, like I say, I love cornbread and chili. But I also left 2 pieces out, one to try plain and one to try with cheese sauce, or with the cheese that fell off. There we go, it's back on. And that's something else. I don't know what is up with y'all Canadians. What do y'all have against cheese? Because y'all don't have a single ration that has cheese spread in it. US, we have cheese spread with jalapenos. We have the peanut butter spread. We have the chocolate peanut butter spread. You have peanut butter and either jam, or you used to have honey. I don't know if they've discontinued that or if they're still doing it. I know I haven't seen it in any lately. I'm not as well versed on the IMPs as I am with the MREs. Now, having said that, the snack, the barbecue nut mix on this side versus the pizza combos on this side, honestly, I'm happy with both of them. That's rock and roll in my book. But the desserts, I'm sorry, Canada knocks it out the park with the desserts. Spiced apples, I don't like spiced apples. I really don't. But we're going to do a little something with those in just a minute. We're going to save that to the end. But this coffee crisp, these things, is the second best candy I have had out of Canada. Included in the package that Smitty sent me was some Canadian Smarties, which blows M&Ms out of the water. I'll be the first one to admit it. I used to joke about them all the time. I can't do that anymore because I have fallen for those things. So, the one thing that really bothered me about this is you had the spiced apples and the coffee crunch. Honestly, why was there no jelly? Leave out the coffee crunch if you have to put the jelly or the honey in, or whatever side it is now. Or even better, in my opinion, leave out the spiced apples and leave the coffee crunch in, but I know they can't do that. They have to have a fruit in. So, Well, that's my ranting and raving over with. Let's get to tasting this stuff. We're going to start with the coffees. Just because doing all this running around made me a little dusty, so we're going to do the drinks first. This is the US coffee. Strong, creamy, good to go. And this is the Canadian. That's unusual. That's not quite as strong as the US. I actually like the US better. That's really weird. Okay, well, I figured with the 3-in-1 being as much as there was, it would have a better flavor, but I guess I could be wrong. Lemon lime. Oh yeah. Sorry. It's Kool-Aid. Lemon lime Kool-Aid. And fruit punch. Okay. Alright, so I want to try this cornbread by itself real quick. As cornbreads go, it's not fresh out of the pan cornbread. As I'm going to tell you, there's nothing like a little fresh cornbread straight out of the oven with some hot butter on it. But to be trans fat free and in packaging holding for 3 years, I've had worse. Let's try with a little cheese on it. We also got our vegetable crackers, which you can see all the little, you can see better in this one, the little specks. That's the dried vegetables. I'm just going to say it straight out. I miss the salty crackers they used to have. These, they cut back on the salt on them. I don't know if they're doing some sodium kick or whatever, but they're just not as good. I like the old saltine crackers that they had in here. These just aren't as good anymore. Now, I made my peanut butter sandwich out of the pane and the peanut butter. And that really needs some jelly. That really needs something. Dear goodness. Okay. That was nice and mouth-gluing. Okay. Now this barbecue nut mix, I have never had this before. This is going to be my first time trying this. And it looks like it has corn nuts. I'm not sure what these little things are. That seems to be all it is barbecue corn nuts and barbecue whatever the other things are, but it has a really good barbecue flavor. Really strong right off the bat. I like that. Now, of course, we've got our pizza cheese crackers. Yep, good old combos. Alright, let's get down to the chilies. I'm curious about this Canadian, so we're going to try it first. Okay. See, I got some of the meat, a bean, everything good to go there. Good tomatoey flavor. Very distinctive meat. The beans aren't too soft. You still got a little bit of actual... They're tender, but they're not mushy, so that's really good. I'm impressed. Canada does a good chili. All right. The American chili, like I say, has more of that southwestern style look and sauce to it. Chili spices coming through first thing. With the Canadian, the first thing you got was a tomatoey taste. With this, it's the spice taste. And you can tell the beans are more of a presence than in the Canadian. It's more of a mix of the beans and meat, where this was more of a meat with a bean backer, so to speak. So, again, looking at it, I was right. Taste-wise, this, I would put on some hot dogs or some hamburgers any day, or even some spaghetti. This... Again, with the cornbread, some cheese on top, and a cold day, I'm good. I'm set. So, both chilies are good. And I'm going to tell you this, being out in cold conditions, either one of these heated up as a nice hot, I guess you'd say, bowl of chili, would definitely be a comfort food. So, having it on the menu is a really good thing to do. Just wish the side, I wish there was a dessert with this, not just a bunch of snacks. And on this, I kind of wish there was, I don't know, just something to help this Sahara Desert of a sandwich to be better. And the coffee crisp, if you've never had one of these and you're a coffee fan, you were missing out. Again, wafers like a Kit Kat, nothing but coffee flavor. Love these things. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of spiced apples, but if y'all remember from a previous video I did, the IMP breakfast, I had a cereal that I set aside that said I would do something with at a later date. Apple and brown sugar crunchy cereal. Well, now's that later date, folks, because what I'm going to do is take some of this apple and brown sugar crunchy cereal, put it on top of these apples. Guess what, folks? We got apple cobbler. And I got more in case one comes up later. I can do it again. So we go from having a mushy spiced apple that really doesn't have taste or texture to apples with brown sugar flavoring and that crunchy nuttiness with a little bit of cream from the cereal. That is a dessert. So, well, folks, this is my dinner. I'm going to finish eating. I'm not going to keep boring y'all with the talking. Again, check out Smitty's channel to see the northern take on this, see what he thought differently than I did. see if he had some of the same conclusions I did. Again, I'll drop a link down to his channel in my description. So we'll see y'all next time. Y'all have a good one.